Welcome back. I'm Richard Hasnote, and I'm your host for the Wisdom Inspired Life podcast and this Wisdom Inspired Life YouTube channel. Great to have you back. This is another in what I call my Caring and Compassion series. And in this series, I share experiences of people demonstrating significant levels of caring and compassion. Now, let's focus on that word significant a little bit. This is not at the level of significance that's going to make it onto CNN or any other news channel, nor is it going to make it into probably any newspaper, even a corner newspaper or a newsletter. But it's significant in the lives of people that experience it. And my hope is that by sharing these kinds of stories with you, that I may inspire myself even more and you to bring more caring and compassion into your life. Because the mission of this channel is to inspire people to be more caring and compassionate, to help deal with the challenges and needs that we have on this planet. And by being more caring and compassionate, it's a critical part of living a wisdom-inspired life. Okay, so let's get into these stories. This is wisdom can come at any age. Sometimes people think wisdom is only for those older people who've accumulated it along the road. But when you really understand what wisdom is, and I've got a series of episodes on what wisdom is, you can be 12, you can be 21, 32, 81, and it doesn't matter. All of us are capable of wisdom if we have the ability to connect with that inner knowing, that intuition that is the voice of our soul. But I digress. Here's the story. When Donald's grandson, Max, told his mother, Andrea, to donate any check she would give him for his 21st birthday, Andrea got an idea. Now, this is a 21-year-old. 21-year-olds have no shortage of wants and needs, okay? And turning 21 is a big date and all that. But here he's saying that he wants to donate any check that he gets. And Andrea, his mother, gets an idea. She starts acting on that idea when she hands Max's brother, Charlie, a video camera and says, "Come with me." She then took out 21 $10 bills from the bank and then separately bought 21 apples at the supermarket. What is she going to do with 21 $10 bills and 21 apples? Well, what they did is when they spotted a homeless man, Andrea told this person, "Today is my son Max's 21st birthday, and he asked me to give a gift to someone to help them celebrate." And she handed the man the $10 bill and an apple. And the man smiled into the camera and announced, "Happy birthday, Max." And they were on their way. Soon they had passed out all the booty to men and women waiting in line at the soup kitchen. In a unified chorus, all the people looked in the camera and wished Max happy birthday. Then they went to a pizza parlor, and Andrea left $50 and told the owners to feed the hungry. The pizza parlor owners looked into the camera and shouted, "Happy birthday, Max." With their last $10 bill and one last apple, they stopped at Andrea's sister's office. Unable to contain her laughter or her tears, upon receiving the $10 bill and the apple, she bellowed into the camera, "Happy birthday, Max." And that video was given to Max. And can you imagine if he got through that without a dry eye? It's impossible. What multiple acts of kindness and opening your heart to give what was coming, you would expect coming to you on your 21st birthday, and say, no, there's a lot of other people that can really use help. And Andrea, his mother, just saw an opportunity to act on Max's need and wish in a way that was just abundant and wonderful and caring and compassionate. It's innovative. It's wonderful. It made a nice act of kindness and a smile to a whole bunch of people. Okay. Next story. Zena and her family were from the United Kingdom and were on their way to visiting the Grand Canyon. Living in Arizona, I can understand why people would want to do that. It's an amazing place to go. There's nothing else like it. Well, when Zena was 7, something unforgettable happened while they were driving to the Grand Canyon. Okay. At one point, her favorite blanket flew out the window and was gone in the rearview mirror and quickly gone. Because the road that you're driving to there, you can typically drive 55, 65, even 70 miles an hour, depending upon traffic and conditions and posted speeds. Okay. She was devastated. You can understand how that might happen. We get attached to articles of clothing. Here one moment, flying out the window, gone in the rearview mirror the next. Well, she thought that was the end of that. But soon after that, they stopped at a service station. Moping, Zena found a bench and was about to eat her sandwich when a biker gang pulled into the station. Can you imagine that? I mean, that can be a scary situation. And one of the bikers came up to her and says, "Is that your blue Ford?" A huge, frightening man with a gray and black beard asked her. Mom nodded. The man pulled her blanket from his jacket pocket and handed it to her. Apparently, the biker gang had been riding somewhere behind them in their blue Ford, saw the blanket fly out, stopped in the middle of the road to pick up this blanket. And when they caught up with this blue Ford, could not wait to be able to give that blanket back. After this man gave her the blanket, he returned to his motorcycle, and she repaid him the only way she knew how. She ran up to him and gave him her sandwich. These are all little acts of kindness. It would have been so easy for this biker group to just keep on rolling. But somehow they felt somebody had just lost a little treasure and a little gift. And it was an opportunity for them to do something nice. So they stopped, going from 65 or whatever they were to a dead stop, getting off and picking this up, putting it in the pocket, hoping that they would see their car further down the road. And went from something that was a devastating and painful experience into one that was an extremely positive one. You never know where help's going to come from. Unexpected sources. Wonderful, wonderful story. Let's go to our next story. A year ago, Micah Harold from Texas had a heart attack and actually died several times on the table. A year later, COVID-19 struck. And Micah owns a tattoo parlor, and apparently he's an extremely talented artist. But his tattoo parlor was closed because it was non-essential. Okay. But Micah stepped up and is giving back to the community. His shop is on the edge of a not-so-affluent part of town. We're in COVID-19. You can imagine a whole lot of people out of jobs and other non-essential workers. And he stocked up his shop with essentials such as toilet paper, paper towels, different types of non-perishable foods, and emergency items. And you go, You're converting your tattoo parlor into a store that sells these products? Not quite. Some of the things he bought with his own money, and he'd had some of the donations from the community. But regardless of where they came from, and he also made a hand sanitizer and had gloves from his work as a tattoo artist that people needed during the pandemic were available in his shop. But here's the thing. Everything was free in this non-affluent neighborhood that had lots of needs. You just go in, tell him what you need, and he gives it to you. At this time when all of us were shaken, disoriented, challenged, living in fear, whatever, with COVID-19, we'd never experienced a pandemic. But the giving didn't stop there. His mother, Deborah Allen, was not in his business, but was in the business of making cloth masks for people. And she had long been a clothing designer, and now she was making masks and giving them away. They're both helping the community a great deal. This is at the heart of the ingenuity and caring and compassion when, as a society, as humanity on planet dealing with this pandemic, it opens up the heart to find a way, in some way, to help others who are in need. And you know there's lots of others in need with the COVID-19 pandemic. This is just one small story, I'm sure, of many that are out there. Okay. This is all something all of us can learn from about. In times of need, what can I do to be more caring and compassionate to help my fellow humans? Just asking the question will enable you to see some opportunities that you might not see otherwise to be caring and compassionate. Let's go to the next story. The next story is about the Wisdom Inspired Life podcast, where there is a lot of storytelling that's going on in this particular podcast. There's over 350 episodes. Most of them are 10 to 15 minute episodes like you see on this YouTube channel. Wide range of sharing wisdom quotes from people like the Dalai Lama, Gary Zukov, Sane Roman, Deepak Chopra, the Four Agreements, Ageless Wisdom, on and on and on. And great library of those there. And I'm currently publishing new episodes on Saturday, which are excerpts of illumination and insights on the Christian Bible that are just amazing. Paramahansa Yogananda was a God-realized being. As you may know, he's my beloved guru, founder of the Self-Realization Fellowship. And his book, The Second Coming of Christ, The Resurrection of Christ Within You, turns the Christian Bible, at least for me, a great source of insight and wisdom, into a rich, rich treasure of guidance and understanding. In the same way he does, in this very similar manner, he does exactly the same thing for the Bhagavad Gita, which some refer to as the Hindu Bible, where he shares great illumination on this great, great, great text. In his book, God Talks with Arjuna, the Bhagavad Gita. And this is an extended series that goes on. So this podcast is available wherever you want to listen to podcasts. It's got listeners in over 70 countries, so you can listen on Apple Podcast, iTunes, Spotify, Google Play, on and on, all those places. You can also listen to it on my website, mywisdominspiredlife.com. We have a great podcast player there that you can see and listen to the podcast. You can also see the 2 out of all the 6 books I've published, my 2 wisdom-related books, and you can learn more about me should you be so inclined. As you realize by now, I'm on a mission to inspire people to be more caring and compassionate, in the hopes that caring and compassion will help us deal with the challenges and needs we have on the planet, and in the course of that, living a wisdom-inspired life. I'm on the journey, and I look forward to continuing that journey with you.